Welcome to the Hot Fix. I'm Taylor Zeller. Over the last few years, companies like Google, HTC, and Facebook have all been vying for a share of the VR market. Recently, Sony launched their VR product, the PlayStation VR, to a whole lot of fanfare. According to the research group SuperData, PlayStation VR is actually expected to sell 2.6 million units by the end of this year. So when will Microsoft and Xbox announce their foray into VR? Well, according to Xbox head Phil Spencer, that may not be for a while. Now this may come as a surprise to Microsoft fans. After all, the next version of the Xbox, set to release sometime in the next year, seems to be purpose-built to handle the stresses of VR. And Microsoft announced at a recent Microsoft Windows event that they have partnered with HP, Dell, Lenovo, Asus, and Acer to create more cost-effective headsets. But in a recent interview with Steve Wright, Phil Spencer explained his reasoning behind delaying VR. "I don't think creators in the game space have yet found, well, they haven't obviously perfected the craft of building VR games," he said. "It's so early, I think we're a couple of years before we really see that hit mainstream. Most of these things I'm playing now feel like demos and experiments, which I actually think is absolutely the right thing to have happened. That's not a criticism at all, but should be happening. But I think it will take time." Microsoft seems to be moving very cautiously towards investing heavily in VR. After all, the brand made the choice to invest heavily in motion gaming with the Kinect, and that didn't pan out well for the company. However, that doesn't mean that Xbox is completely writing off VR. Spencer also stated, quote, "I think VR will find its spot in gaming. I would make that bet. We designed Scorpio as a VR-capable console. Whether that happens this year, next year, or the year after, like I said, I still think the creative community has to get its arms around what are these new tools and this new feeling, this new immersion." So other than the lack of truly immersive games, what else does Phil Spencer think is limiting the technology? I would say the idea that I'm going to put on a head-mounted display and have a wire hanging out of the back of my head that connects to some box in a room is wrong. It's gotta go away. Most non-core gaming people are not going to do that. In the long run, we need untethered solutions. You have to have the compute capability not wired to my display that's on my head. That means I either have to have some kind of high bandwidth wireless HDMI or I have to compute here. So what do you think? Is Xbox right to be waiting on this technology, or is it just giving Sony a market advantage? Leave a comment down below and let us know. If you like this video and want to see more videos like it, hit that like button and subscribe to Spectator Mode.